All right, everyone. It looks like I'm live, but I'm just waiting for it to start just to make sure. Okay, there we are. I see it on my phone. And maybe, oh, there we go. I had to press play on my computer. So I think we're good. And I've got everything muted so that we don't have any weird echoes. All right, well, hi, everyone. Welcome to YouTube Live. Yes, hi, Mindy from snowy, Wisconsin. It's also snowy here in Minneapolis, too. We're expected to get 5 to 8 inches, and it's been snowing pretty much all day. But I did check my internet speed, and it doesn't look like the snow is affecting that at all. So we should be good to go. All right, looks like we have a lot of people joining us. I'm just going to give it a few minutes for everyone to find us and also to wait for my foil machine to heat up. So while we're waiting, let's just go over a couple of live things that we always do. If you're new to our live stream, welcome. We're happy that you found us. Once I flip the camera around and I get going, I don't see as many comments come through. So this is just a blanket welcome to everyone new and veteran to our lives. We're happy you're here. Today, I'm going to be making a really snowy, wintry, fun card featuring lots of different products. So one thing that we would really love for you guys to do currently is give this video a thumbs up. That helps the videos reach both now while we're live, but also on the replay, so that hopefully other crafters will find the live replay and find Pinkfresh, or just get inspired to use products that they might have already in their stash. So there is that. Now we do give away a $15 gift card code at the end of every live. So a couple of ways that you can enter to win is one, just by doing what you're already doing. So just leave, excuse me, pardon me, I lost my train of thought. Just chat in the live chat. You can ask questions, you can answer questions, you can comment on the project. You can chat with each other, totally fine. And all of those are just entries into the giveaway. Now you can also share this video. Underneath, there's an arrow and there's a word share, but share next to it. If you click on that, there's a few different ways you can share. You can share to your Facebook page. You can share in a message or an email that you might have with fellow crafty friends. You can also share it in a Facebook crafting group as long as it's allowed. There are some that have rules against that. So just make sure you know your crafting groups, and you can share there. I see someone said from Minnesota that they don't have snow yet. So you're going to get hit, because we are completely getting dumped on currently. And I am in South Minneapolis, so the Richfield, Bloomington area. Welcome, Lisa Cole. I did catch you that this is your first time here in our live. Welcome. Glad you found us. We hope that you enjoy it. All right, so those are all of the ways that you can enter to win that $15 gift card code. Now, Heather, who is the name behind the Pinkfresh Studio account currently, she will pick that winner at the end and she'll announce it. She also will inevitably catch all of the questions and such that I miss while I'm creating. I catch what I can, but when you're doing things live, a lot, and comments sometimes fly fast, I definitely miss a lot. So Heather is really good about catching all of that. If both of us miss it, we didn't ignore you. It probably just kind of flew right through and we didn't see it. So either ask it again, or it's possible someone in the chat may have answered it as well. Welcome, Tiffany. Glad that you have found us as well. Looks like me and Mindy were, just knocked my camera. I'll have to check and make sure I didn't knock that out of alignment. It looks like me and Mindy are in the snow path, and then our other Minnesota and Wisconsin friends just haven't gotten there yet. All right, well, my hot foil system is all heated up. Now, My lighting changes frequently during this time because it gets really dark early here. My cameras do better with natural light, so I'm going to keep the natural light as long as I possibly can. I will keep an eye on it. And if I feel like it's starting to get too dark or icky looking, I may pause and just make some lighting adjustments in the room. So just forewarning you there in case I have to kind of pause for a second and make some adjustments. So I am going to go ahead and get my camera flipped over to my desktop view, and we'll get going. All right, I think that currently looks pretty good. I'm gonna check my phone and make sure that it also looks okay. Yes, we've got a ton of snow coming down currently. This is our first larger snow thing. All right, so far lighting looks good on my phone, so I'm happy with it for now. But like I said, I will keep an eye on it because my light changes really fast right now, especially with how early or how early it gets dark. There we go. Okay, so as you can see, my foil system, I already flipped it on and I let it heat up. So the way that you know is that this light here turns green once it's ready. I'm using the Spellbinders Glimmer hot foil system. There are other systems out there that our hot foil plates work on, but this is the one I'm most versed with and the one that just works best for me. So I have flipped it on and I have heated it up. And we are going to be using the Snowflakes hot foil plate today. And so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put that on my hot foil plate or on my platform. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to click the timer button. So what this timer button is doing is it is heating up the plate so that it will be ready to basically press that foil down into the cardstock using a die cut machine. So I'm going to just slip this over so you can at least still see the blinking light. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to grab my Platinum 6, which is the die cut machine that I use for foiling. Now I know that the Glimmer hot foil system works with a number of die cut machines. I don't know them all by heart, but there is quite a few. So, I believe the product description, the one we have on our site, and I believe Spellbinders as well, does list all of the machines that it works with. So, but I know that it does work with quite a few. Hi, Donna, happy to see you today. Oh, right, Lori? I guess I had snow on my brain because I am making a very wintry card, but I'm not using colors that you normally see from me. So I'm kind of branching out a little bit, friends. Okay, so you see the timer button, it stopped blinking. So that means that this hot foil plate has heated up enough to really press that foil into the cardstock. Now, my platform is hard to remove from the base. So I actually like to remove it from the base before I start applying any of my sandwiches. I have pre-cut my foil, but we are going to be using this, oh, I forget the name of it. It's like iridescent silver speckle or something like that. I probably totally butchered. This came in a metallic I think it was like called the Metallics and Holographic 4-pack. It's an older 4-pack from Spellbinders. I think they have some others that look fairly similar to it, but that is the one that I am using today. Oh, exciting. Washington's getting, yeah, Heather let us know Washington's getting hit with snow too. So I see all of you Pacific Northwesterners talking about snow. That's exciting. Hi, Carissa. I didn't see you jump in earlier, but I'm glad you're here with us. Okay, so I'm going to remove the platform from the base really quick. So let me do that. I feel like my thing actually gets harder as it gets older to remove. So I'm not sure if there's something I can do about it. Maybe I need to ask. Okay, so I pre-cut a piece of that foil. And we're going to go ahead and lay it down pretty side down onto the snowflakes. And then we're going to add our cardstock. This is 100-pound Hammermill smooth white cardstock. And then the 2 plates that come with the system, the spacer pad and the thin shim. And I am just going to place those down on top. And then we're going to go ahead and just run it through my Platinum 6. I'm just going to run it through nice and slowly. I am not going to rush it because I like that foil to have enough time to really press itself down. However, I don't really feel the need to run it back and forth. I sometimes feel like that can lead to the foil shifting a little bit and then getting some haloing. So I do like to just do the one run through, and then we're going to see how the results are. And look at that. They are pretty much perfect. I love those, and they're glittery and fun. How fun is that? Yeah, I think someone might have asked if this works with the Gemini Junior, and it does not. Crafter's Companion, which is the manufacturer of the Gemini Junior, has their own foil system. Okay, so for the sake of time, friends, because the stencil set we are using today is 6 pieces, I am not going to solid foil the reverse. I will do that after the fact. I actually have some solid versions in this exact foil that I'm going to use today instead. But I know myself, and I know the speed at which I ink blend. And so I am going to skip solid foiling. So I apologize about that. But we have lots of lives where we have showcased the solid foiling in the past. We also have our solid foiling 101 class that you can check out. But just for the sake of time today, I do need to skip doing the foiling. Before we get to the ink blending though, let's go ahead and just get these guys cut out. Oh, I'm glad you guys like these snowflakes. I love them. I think they're so fun. So let's see. Let's grab the die. Of course, in true Pinkfresh fashion, we have a 1-piece die set up for this guy so that we can just easily cut out all of these snowflakes with one little swoop through our machine. I'm just going to go ahead and tape it down. Nice and secure so that it doesn't shift on me when it runs through my machine. Go. And then I'm just going to go ahead and run this through, and I'll be right back. All right, so let's see how we did. Love the 1-piece die. I love not having to tape multiple dies down. And then just like that, we have all of our snowflakes cut out. Aren't those so fun? Oh, just love these. All right, well, let's go ahead. I am going to just do a little bit of cleanup here real quick. Let's get the hot foil stuff set aside. And we are going to switch over to doing some ink blending. Okay, I'm just going to set those snowflakes aside for a little bit. Let's go ahead and grab the stencil set we're going to use today, and a piece of cardstock. I'm going to go ahead and grab one of my ink stands here. All right, today we are going to use the Wintry Forest stencil set. So this is what it looks like when you use all of the stencils together. I'm just going to be using 5 of the stencils this time. I'm actually going to omit those snowy layers, and you'll see why as we get closer to assembling the card. But we are going to create a really fun wintry forest backdrop, and I promise I am going to make it wintry. It's just going to be a little bit different than with using that last stencil. Sheila, I try not to actually store the solid foil. I try to just get it done right after. You could, however, store it in like a clear envelope of some sort if you wanted to wait to gather up a bunch of solid pieces and solid foil all at once. So that would definitely work. I know that in the past I have saved it up the solid foil, and I agree with you on that. So I noticed that they got a little scratched up, and if they sat there too long, they might have even gotten a little dusty and then they didn't transfer as well. So it would never hurt to put them in like a plastic envelope or something along those lines. Okay. So we are starting with stencil 1. I'm pretty sure that I do this set all in the exact order. I know sometimes I do a lot of stencils out of order, but this one I think makes sense in the order that we have them. So we are going to start with mint ink, which is one of our lightest shades of green. And so what I'm going to do is, you'll notice that this is a lot. This is a lot of extra cardstock. I am not going to blend mint all the way down. I will use the next stencil to kind of figure out where I can end the mint as we go. So you could blend all the way down, but I think in the end, that's just going to get to be a lot. So I feel like the way that I'm doing this works fine. It's actually been a while since I've used this stencil. But I think we'll be good. Guess we'll find out once we get there, huh? Hopefully I don't. Hopefully I don't botch this up by doing it this way, but I think we'll be safe. Okay, let's see. And let me see here. I think we have to get a little bit more mint in there for it to layer together. These are really, really fun stencils. Melody, this is a really fun set. Time-wise, I knew this stencil set takes me a little bit longer to blend because it is a lot of blending, and it always takes me a little bit more to get these big areas blended. So thus skipping the solid foiling for today, just so that I would make sure that I had enough time for ink blending. Okay, I feel good about that. So I am going to just get any excess mint off, and I am going to stop there with the mint, because then we're going to go to this next stencil, and that is basically going to cover any mint that I would blend down further. So I don't really feel the need to keep blending the mint. So we're going to stop the mint for now, and we are going to move on. Out. That's people talking about their Black Friday orders. It'll be exciting once everybody gets them. But all right, see a bunch more people jumping on. Thanks for joining us. All right, we're moving on to stencil 2. And this is just another layer of trees. I'm just getting it lined up. Oops. Let's just see a little flaw in my cardstock. I'm not going to worry about that. All right. Let me get this guy taped down. Okay. All right, so that's stencil number 2. We are going to use Meadow, which is the next shade up in that same green color family. This is our garden Stroll color family. If you're new to our inks at all, we have them, basically we have color families. So currently we have 12 color families. We are adding to them next year at some point, but I don't know the exact date when they will come out. But we have 12 color families currently, 48 shades of ink. And within those color families, there are 4 shades in each one, ranging from very pastel and light to like a mid, a jewel, and then on up to a dark tone. So if you're new to our inks at all, that's just a little bit more info on how we work them. We came out with our inks in 2019, and we actually haven't added any colors to it since then. And honestly, when we came out with our inks in 2019, we hadn't even introduced layering stencils yet, but we knew we wanted colors to layer together seamlessly. So it was kind of perfect fit for us to have gradiated or created gradients in our inks like that, because it's really nice to have for when you're using layering stencils like this, because you have, a lot of the work done for you within those color families. Okay. Thanks for sharing. Appreciate that. Okay, so let me see. I feel like we're good on Meadow. I might have even blended a little bit too much, but that's okay. Better safe than sorry, right? Okay, so let's see here. There is the second layer, and our little forest scene is starting to come together. All right, so we are, they kind of hook together when you grab them, those little spiky trees. Okay, so moving on to stencil 3. Oh, thank you, Jane. I appreciate that. Happy to hear that you love them. Okay, let's see. All right, so we are going to jump up 1 shade of ink here, up to Evergreen. This is our darkest shade of green. It's in the same family. It's in our Garden Stroll green color family. I'm just skipping 1 shade. So I kind of skipped the jewel tone, which I believe is emerald. But I wanted to get this real, as the name suggests, evergreen, kind of fitting for what I'm blending here. So it seemed like a good jump, because I know that I want to switch to blues, which I know seems weird, but I think that the colors are going to be really fun together. So I just have to see about how far I feel like I need to blend here. And I actually don't think I need to blend too much more. So I'm just going to deepen the tones a little bit and maybe just take it a skitch more, a tish more, whatever that word is. Just down a little bit further. Oh, thank you, Carrie. That's really kind of you to say. We love to hear that. We appreciate that. Happy to hear that you are happy with our inks. Okay, I think I'm feeling good about where that guy ended. Let me get that wiped off so I don't get evergreen ink all over my fingers. All right, so let's take a look at our next layer. And how fun is that? Smidge. That's probably the exact word I was looking for, Mindy, and I just couldn't place it. Something about lives. Sometimes your brain just stops firing and you totally lose your words. It's really not even nerves. I think it's just I've got so many things going on at once. But yeah, I think smidge, that's a perfect word, and probably the exact word I was thinking of. Okay, so we are moving on to stencil 4. Let me get this guy taped down. Now that I'm thinking about this, it might have been better to switch the colors around that I'm using, but we're too far into this now. So the blues are going to go at the bottom. It might have made more sense to do the blues at the top, and it could have kind of been like mimicking night sky, but you know what? That's okay. Neither here nor there. This, I think, will still look really pretty. I'm just gonna clean out this blue brush because I am not sure the last shade of blue I used with it. And if it was Stargazer, I don't want that mixed with my Sapphire. So I just want to get anything out of it that might be there. Oh, thank you guys. I'm glad you're loving the trees. I think they're super fun. Oh, Mindy loves voiceovers. I am opposite. I do not like doing voiceovers. I am a live girl, honestly. Obviously, I would do everything live if I could, because I just don't love doing voiceovers. I actually feel like I stumble over my words more in a voiceover than I do in like actual live. All right. Blend this down a little bit further. You know, Sharon, I feel like my craft room is currently kind of bursting at the seams too, which tells me I know what I will be doing in my holiday days off over Christmas time, because currently we don't currently live around family, so it's just us at Christmas time. I'm probably going to be doing some craft room purging to make room for, you know, upcoming stuff this year. And I find that I work better if things are well organized and I don't have, you know, I'm not just flooded with stuff. So I feel you on that. And I think that's going to be a task for me in my holiday days off coming up here. Okay, I think we're good on blue, that sapphire blue. Okay, let's see how this looks. Ooh, I think that's really fun, actually. I really like the, oopsies, ripped my tape. I really like the blue on the bottom, actually, so I'm glad I did it. I definitely am not saying that this happens in nature, but that's a great thing about crafting, is that doesn't really matter. You can make anything look the way you want it to. I've used this stencil with pinks and it's awesome. And there's definitely not pink trees. Oh, thanks, guys. Okay, according to Deb, purging stresses her out. So maybe don't do that then. See, for me, it's cathartic, and I enjoy kind of a new start. I'm the same way in my house. I'm not sentimental really about much. There's a few things I'm sentimental about, but not much. Most of the time, I'm just like, get it out of here if I don't want to look at it anymore. Okay. All right, so that's the stencil number 5. We have one more stencil, but I'm not going to use this one today. It's a great one for using with like glitter paste or just white texture paste, all of that kind of stuff. I am just going to omit this one today. All right, for our final layer, this almost looks black on video right now, but it's technically Stargazer, which is one of our darkest shades of blues. This is in our Starry Night color family, as with Sapphire. These are the 2 darker tones of the blues in that family. Not real worried about washing my brush off, because Stargazer is so much deeper than Sapphire that it really doesn't matter if it gets a little mixed in there. Okay. Get this last little layer ink blended in here. See, I agree, Bridget. And so I think that's where my brain went with doing the blues at the bottom, that it's almost like they're more in the shadows and they're kind of in that civil twilight phase right after sunset, but before it's like pitch black. That's kind of where my brain went. And so I think that's why I chose the blues to go on the bottom. But they probably would have looked really good at the top too, and it would have been more like being a part of the night sky. So I think it would work both ways. Okay. Oh, thanks, guys. I appreciate it. Let's talk about organization. I love organizing. I think there is like a whole thing out there about like actually using supplies and then collecting them. And I think for me, it's less about collecting them. I don't mind purging and giving stuff away, but I do love when they're fully organized and everything is in its place. Yeah, Heather just said she would rather share with somebody that like something that you're not using anymore, but somebody else might use it and give it more love. I definitely love that aspect of it too. Okay, let's get that Stargazer ink off there so I don't get it all over my fingers. I might have gotten it a little bit. All right, but here is, let's take the, hold on. Ooh. Let me get the Stargazer out of here so that I don't make a huge mess. And let me clean my brush off real quick. Okay, let's see here. That's probably good. All right, let's take a look at the final reveal. And I love how this turned out. I think it's super fun. Look at how fun that is. I love the different depths, and I do like that these kind of look like they're down in the shadows. All right, so that is our Wintry Forest. So like I mentioned, I am omitting stencil 6, which if you lay it on top of here, you'll notice it is like snow, kind of like snow caps or, little fluffs of snow on there. I'm going to omit this because I'm going to turn this into an edge-to-edge shaker. I'm going to throw a little bit of glitter in there. And so I think that will be enough stuff on there. So I'm going to omit that part of it, but you could definitely keep going forward and add those in. So this is just a lint-free cloth. I think I ordered like a 10-pack of them on Amazon. And I'm just wiping these down dry currently. Now, after I end the live stream, I will clean each stencil more extensively. So I have just a jar of, or excuse me, a spray bottle of isopropyl alcohol. Isopropyl alcohol on my desk. And so I'll just spritz each stencil down, just a few times with it, and then take the same cloth and just buff them clean. And that gets stencils nice and clean. It gets any leftover ink residue off, but then they're also immediately dry. So you can use them again, or you can just put them away. However, now, if you're using something like a paste or a glitter gel or something on a layer, I would suggest having some warm soapy water with like a gentle soap, like a Dawn or something like that, that you can immediately place your stencil in. You can see I even have remnants from using some of that in the past, because I feel like that stuff dries like concrete on stencils. So I like to have just a little bin of warm soapy water that I can tuck a stencil in that I use paste on or anything like that. And then you can just kind of, buff it clean in the warm soapy water. So just a couple of tips on that aspect of stencils. Okay, let me just put a couple things away, and then we are going to just get this panel trimmed down with with the largest stitched rectangle die. Oh, I love trees and mountains. I'm a big mountain person. I am from Montana, and I currently live in the Midwest in Minneapolis, but we are moving home next year. We're currently building a house, so I'm really excited to get back into just the mountains full of trees. I'm super excited. So I love this set for that reason. Okay, so we have got our little panel trimmed down. Got that nice, lovely stitched edge, which for some reason is not showing up very well. There we go. Okay. So there is that part. Okay. So like I mentioned, we are going to turn this into an edge-to-edge shaker. So I'm going to go ahead, let's go ahead and do that part right now. So this is, if you can see it, I hope it shows up. This is just some empty or used up clear packaging that I trimmed down that we're going to use as our little shaker window, kind of. So, but before we do that, I'm just going to take some really thin score tape. This is, I think, 1/16 of an inch. And we are going to back each edge of our stenciled panel on the back side of it. Sheila, I will have a craft room / office in our new house. I don't know that I would call it custom. I'm just going to use the current furniture I own from IKEA in it. So I don't know that I would call it a custom room, but I will have a room. Okay. So I know that this is hard to see, but I have laid that panel down onto my clear packaging. And I'm going to just remove 3 sides of the release paper from the score tape, the double-sided tape. And we're going to fold over just 3 sides first. So let's do that. First things first. Okay. All right, so then you'll notice that we have these little wings. So I'm just going to grab some scissors and I am just going to trim those so that they won't stick out. Okay. There's that. Okay, so there we have our window. All right, so this is just some glitter. I think I just combined some glitters that I had with these little confetti stars. I don't know any brands, to be honest, so it's probably just stuff I had accumulated over time and had just little bits of each. And so I just combined them all into this one little tube. Someone's asking me about getting 5 inches of snow. I'm actually currently, we're also getting 5 to 8 inches of snow, but I love snow. So I am not really that worried about snow and moving to Montana. Like I mentioned, I'm from Montana. So I like snow. So I don't mind getting snow. Now, do I start to mind snow come like April, May? Yeah, it's not my favorite then. Okay, so there, I feel like that is plenty of glitter. So I've added the glitter into the window. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to release this and I'm going to finish off my top piece here. And trim off the little wings. And clean my desk from the little bit of glitter that fell on it. And now you'll see why I chose not to do the snow things, because I have this little glitter in the shaker. How fun is that? And if you don't want it all over, it kind of almost looks like you've made a little snowdrift at the bottom if you just leave the glitter at the bottom. And then you get a little bit of remnants of glitter up on those trees, which kind of act like the snow for me. And that is why I left off stencil number 6, because I knew I was going to do this part. Okay. Okay, let's see. Yes, I love this way of doing shakers. I actually don't really do the traditional way any longer because this is so easy with, leftover packaging, and then you're not wasting, plastic packaging. So I think it's just super fun. Okay, so we have the snowflakes. I also have a couple of snowflakes that I actually think Heather and I did these when she was here a while back. I'm just going to use those, but for reference, they were created using our Snowflakes Background cling stamp, and then the coordinating die that comes with it. So the cool thing about this set is you can just use this as a background on your panel. You don't have to die cut it. And you have this really fun snowflakey background, but we do have the die for it. And what this die does is it cuts out all of the snowflakes that are whole. So you'll see that some of the snowflakes go off the edge, and those are the edges of an A2 panel. So it doesn't cut those ones out, but any snowflake that is full, it does cut out. And that is how we ended up with these fun little blue snowflakes. So that is where these came from. And then finally, I did pick one of our pre-foiled sentiments from the Foiled Sentiments for Holiday pack. This is a combination of gold and silver foiled sentiments. They're all based around the holidays and this time of year. I stuck with a winter themed card. This doesn't have to be shared at Christmas. This can be shared in January, February, March, April, where I'm from. Just kidding. But I liked the thought of making a more wintry card versus Christmas. So as I mentioned, I have some pre-foiled of the same iridescent sparkly solid foil pieces. So I'm just grabbing those. You'll notice I made a little whoops on this one when I foiled it, and I did not fully get the foil on the solid plate. But I'm going to be trimming some of that off. So the reason why I kept this is because I'm going to trim this off and you'll never even know that I made that little whoops. So I keep things that I make mistakes on and find ways to use them. And that is one of the ways I'm going to use them. So I have these little snowflake clusters here. I already kind of prearranged them in the way that I want them to go. I'm going to end up trimming a lot off of the edges here so that we don't cover up too much of our beautiful wintry scene here. Yeah, I probably wouldn't foil on this packaging. This is already pre-foiled, so I'm not doing any foiling onto it. I'm just adding foiled elements to it. So I don't know that I would foil on packaging like this. You could try it, but I feel like it's probably not heavy duty enough for foiling. Okay, so let me see here. I think I need to grab some foam dots. So give me just 1 second to grab those. Okay, let's see here. Because we are going to make these a little bit dimensional. Okay. And I want just a little bit of that solid foiling to pop out underneath the standard foiling, just like that. Okay, let's see here. And also, same here. This is where I tend to get a little bit more quiet. I'm going to try to keep going with conversation, but this is where I tend to get a little bit more quiet because I'm just kind of fussing around and kind of trying to figure out where things are going to go. Let's see here. This is the one that when I was kind of pre-figuring this out was a little trickier getting that solid piece too. stick it out from underneath. There we go. I think that was how I did it. I made it a little off center on this guy. Okay, and that guy's gonna pop up here somewhere. Okay. All right. So I feel pretty good about that. So let me just clean this release paper off of my desk. And we are going to do a combination of glue dots and liquid glue to glue these guys down onto the clear packaging. So the reason why I'm picking glue dots is because they will help me keep the snowflakes down on the packaging while the liquid glue dries. So I feel like without the glue dots, I would make a huge mess. And the snowflakes would slide everywhere. So I think the glue dots are doing exactly what I thought they would. They're keeping it in place while that liquid glue sets up. Okay, thanks for clarifying that, Heather, because I think I was kind of confused. I thought people thought I had foiled on packaging today, and I certainly haven't. I've never tried that. So I can't speak to if it works or not. So I would definitely want to make sure that people know that I only used clear packaging to make my little shaker window. Okay, there's that. All right, and I liked this guy kind of here in this corner here, like that. All right, this guy, we're gonna chop a lot off of it. Oh yeah, I agree. Foiling these on vellum would be really lovely. I think hopefully I got the glue dots in the right place. I think foiling these snowflakes on vellum would be really lovely. I think some of our team members maybe did. I did finally find a vellum that I had some success foiling on recently. So I actually struggled with it at first. Okay. All right. So there is that. And now I'm going to do some trimming. So I'm going to flip this over. I'm going to be real careful because I don't want to accidentally cut any of my shaker window and let my glitter escape. Okay, this one's a little bit bigger of a cut here. Ooh, I feel like I got a little close. Hopefully I didn't. I may have to check that and put a little bit of, I may have to put a little bit of glue over top of that because I think I trimmed too close. So I am not going to shake that right this second. Okay. Just trim this guy down. And then up here. Okay. So there we have all of our snowflakes. And look at how fun that is, guys. Oh, I'm kind of really loving how this is turning out. And considering these are not colors that you normally see me use, I'm pretty happy with how these are turning out. All right, so I am just going to toss these little leftover pieces because I don't think that they can really be used. So let's go ahead and get our background now loaded up onto our card. So I am going to add some dimension to it. You could just glue this down as is. You don't have to add this additional vellum, this additional piece, but you know me, I like to add dimension to my cards. So I'm going to go ahead and pop it up with this full panel of foam adhesive. I make these panels on my own with just some white craft foam that you can get at any craft store, really. I think it's in the kids section. And then 5-inch score tape, which I typically get on Amazon, but sometimes directly from the company, which I believe is also Score Pal. Ooh, let me make sure I'm not putting this upside down on my card base. I am not. This is just a nice dark blue cardstock. I felt like it was a kind of a good mix between the Sapphire and the Stargazer ink that we use today. I don't typically know cardstock brands that I'm using, but for some reason, I feel like this might be Lawn Fawn, but don't quote me on that. I just don't know the actual color name. And this little guy keeps getting a little tweaked on me here, so I'm gonna add some liquid glue and just kind of try to glue it in place a little bit better. Thanks, guys. Okay. All right. So I do want to add a couple of these little blue snowflakes into the mix here, just for one more layer on each snowflake. Just trying to pick out. I don't really like that one there. That one I might need to trim, but I like it. All right, let's see. Ooh, maybe this guy. Yeah, I like that. Okay, these ones I'm just gonna put down with a little bit of liquid glue, but I am gonna try to just fluff them a little bit so they're little edges kind of stick up. Okay. Just gonna get those into place here. Yes, I just get my little spray bottles on Amazon that I keep both my stamp cleaner and my rubbing alcohol in. Great, there's that guy. And then this little dude. Okay. Oh, Sharon, foiling is definitely fun at Christmas. I love, love, love foiling. I love foiling all the time, but there's something fun and special about it at Christmas time. All right. I will probably trim that excess off, but I'm going to wait until it is nice and set. So I may not trim it until after my live is over here. Okay, finally, just let's go ahead and add our sentiment here. And let's see where I want to place this guy. I think we're just going to kind of overlap. Or maybe, Ooh, I kind of actually really like it down here. So I think this is where we're going to go with it. And then we get to see more trees up in that corner there. Okay. Sure it feels like it's centered enough. All right. Look at that, friends. Oh, Sherry, yes, this card would definitely require more postage. Based on the amount of dimension I've added to it, it is quite thick. So this is one of those ones where you could buy extra postage, of course. You could put it in a padded envelope. This is also a good one that would be great for putting into a package or hand delivering. All right. Finally, I wasn't sure if I was going to do this, but I think I'm going to just go ahead and add a couple of blue jewels or sapphire jewels just to each center of our snowflakes here. And then this card is officially done. Let me see here. I see this big guy that I want to put. Whew, he is stuck with two here. Oh, Candace, did it, Candace said that she used the recipe that we recommend for our stamp cleaner on her Misty. Did it work, Candace? I would love to know. I hadn't really ever thought of that. I hadn't ever thought to use that for cleaning your Misty. You'll have to let us know if it worked well. All right, we're just going to do those 3 little pieces there. Knock those over. So let's go. Get those cleaned up. Okay. I put down here. Whoa, knocking things off. Here we go. Okay. Erase that. Let me wipe a little bit of excess glue off here. All right. So there is my card, my little shaker card. There, yeah, I definitely cut into that on the side here. So I'm going to have to put a little bit of liquid glue in here and get that sealed up. So I'm not going to shake it too hard right now. Got to do a little bit of plastic surgery in there. All right, friends, that is my card for today. I hope you enjoyed watching it come together. I had a really fun time creating it. I'm actually really thrilled with how it turned out. So I'm glad that I hope you enjoyed it as well. I know you get some glare on that plastic sheeting, but hopefully you get the gist of it here. Yes, and I do love my fun little snow drift at the bottom here. I'm gonna turn it more into a snow mountain. There we go. That's definitely still more like a snow drift. All right, I'm gonna get this camera turned around and we will wait for Heather to announce the winner, and then we will let you guys go for the day. All right, let's see. There we go. All right, well, I'm glad that you guys joined us today. I totally forgot to mention this, but if you're looking for any of the products that I used today, they are linked in the video description. So pretty easy to find. I don't think I added the jewels because I wasn't sure if I was going to use them, but I'll make sure I update the list and update the description with the added jewels as well. Oh, and I see Heather posted the winner. Congratulations to Jane. I'm going to totally butcher your last name, my apologies. Rakenze. Like I said, I probably butchered that. But anyway, congratulations. You have won today's $15 gift card code. All you have to do to claim your prize is email me. My email is leah@pinkfreshstudio.com. There's no H on the end of my name, so it's just LEA at pinkfreshstudio.com, and allow 2 to 3 business days for me to get back to you. All right, friends. Well, that is everything that I have for you today. Our live schedule, I believe, Heather, it will be live on our Facebook page on Thursday, but don't quote me on that. So just keep an eye out in our Instagram stories. We share it there, and then of course we send it in an email. We send out an email about 30 minutes before we go live, so you can also check there as well. All right, well, to everyone who is in the middle of a snowstorm currently or is going to be getting hit with one, stay warm, stay safe, enjoy that cozy snow globe feeling. I love the first snow so much, so I'm totally fine with what is going on outside my window right now. It did actually kind of slow down, but I bet it will pick back up. Oh, and it looks like we also have a scrapbooking live on Friday here on YouTube as well. So lots of lives this week. And I will probably see you live sometime next week. Have a great rest of your day, and we will see you later. Bye.